Today, we're going to talk about Stellar, a blockchain with a really big mission. And here's the cool part. By the end of this, I'm going to show you how anyone, and I mean anyone, even with zero coding experience, can start building on it. So let's just dive right in. First things first, to really get Stellar, you have to understand the problem it was built to solve. And honestly, the problem is pretty simple. For a huge part of the world, moving money is just broken. It's painfully slow, it's way too expensive, and for a lot of people, it's completely out of reach. And when I say a huge part of the world, I'm not kidding. Look at this number, 1.4 billion. That's how many adults on this planet are considered unbanked. What does that mean? It means no bank account, no way to save, no access to credit. Basically, they're locked out of the financial system that many of us just take for granted every single day. This is the challenge Stellar is trying to tackle. To put this in perspective, just imagine you're a worker in, say, London, and you want to send $100 back home to your family in Legos. If you go the old school route, you could lose up to $10 in fees alone, and it might take a whole week for the money to actually get there. Now, on Stellar, that same transfer takes about 4 seconds, and it costs, well, less than a single penny. The difference there isn't just convenient, it's genuinely life-changing. So, you see the problem. It's massive. So what's the solution? Well, let's take a look at how Stellar was designed from the very beginning to build a financial system that actually works for everyone. The key thing to understand about Stellar is that it's a blockchain with a purpose. It's not about speculation, it's not about being digital gold. The best way to think of it is as a public utility, like a road system but for money. It's run by a nonprofit, and its one and only goal is to give every single person fair access to the global economy. And here's how it actually pulls that off. We already know it's incredibly fast and cheap. But on top of that, it can move real US dollars anywhere in the world using USDC. It has its own built-in marketplace where you can trade basically anything without a middleman. And now, with its new smart contract platform called Soroban, people can build all sorts of complex financial apps right on top of the network. Okay, so that's the what and the why. But how does it all actually work? Let's peel back the layers a little bit and look at the essential building blocks you need to know about. So everything on the network starts with an account. You can think of it just like a bank account, but one that you completely control. You get a public key. That's like your address or account number that you can share with people. And then you get a secret key. Now this is your password, your PIN code, your everything, all rolled into one. You must never, ever, ever share this with anyone. Seriously. Now, to make those accounts run, you need something called lumens, or XLM. And it's really important to think of XLM less as an investment and more as the fuel for the network. Every single transaction costs a tiny, tiny fraction of 1 lumen, and you need to hold a couple just to keep your account active. It's the utility token that keeps the whole engine running and stops people from spamming the network. But here's where Stellar gets really, really interesting. It isn't just about XLM. You can create a digital token that represents pretty much anything of value. A US dollar? Yep. A Bitcoin? Sure. Loyalty points for your local coffee shop? You bet. This basically turns the network into a global platform for exchanging any kind of value you can imagine. Okay, so you're probably asking, how do I get my real-world dollars onto this network? Well, that's done through something called an anchor. And the best analogy I've ever heard for this is a casino cashier. You walk up to the cashier, you give them your cash, and they give you digital chips, or in this case, tokens, that you can use on the Stellar network. When you're ready to cash out, you go back to the anchor, you hand in your tokens, and you get your real-world money back. It's that simple bridge between the old financial world and the new one. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, okay, this is all fascinating, but I'm not a developer. This isn't for me. Well, hang on, because this next part is especially for you. We're going to look at a completely new way of building that pretty much throws the old rulebook out the window. The concept is called vibe coding, and I love this quote because it really captures the spirit of it. It's about focusing on the big picture, the vibe of what you're trying to create, and letting an AI assistant sweat the small stuff, all that complicated syntax. You get to be the director, not the person typing every single line. And the process itself couldn't be simpler. It's a 3-step loop. First, you prompt the AI. You just describe what you want in plain English. Second, and this is the most important part, you verify. You read the code it writes and make sure you understand what it's doing. And third, you iterate. You ask for changes, you tweak things until it's exactly what you want. Prompt, verify, iterate. That's the whole game. So what does a prompt even look like? Is it some weird technical command? No, it's just a simple sentence like write a script to generate a new stellar key pair. No weird symbols, no semicolons, you're just talking to it, stating your goal clearly. From there, an AI tool like Claude Code takes that simple sentence and just writes the code for you. Your job completely changes. You're no longer the writer, you're the editor. You become a critical reader, a verifier, which for most people is a much more natural skill to learn. So let me just be crystal clear about what this means. With this approach, you do not need to know JavaScript or Rust or any of that. You don't need to be a cryptography expert. You don't even need to know the first thing about blockchain before you get started. All you really need is curiosity and the ability to explain what you're trying to do. Okay, enough theory, let's make this real. I'm going to show you right now exactly how you can use these tools to get your own account on the Stellar network, and it'll probably take you less than 5 minutes. Here's the plan, just 3 steps. First, you'll generate your key pair. Then, you'll use a cool little service called FriendBot to get 10,000 free, totally fake lumens for the test network. It's like a sandbox where your mistakes cost nothing. Finally, you can look up your new account address on a block explorer and actually see your balance. Just like that, you'll officially be on the blockchain. And as you're taking this first step, I have to leave you with the golden rule one last time, because it is that important. You have to guard your secret key. It is the one and only thing that gives you access to your funds and your identity on the network. Protect it. So, there you have it. We've gone from a huge global problem to a really powerful solution, and now to a brand new way of building that opens the doors for everyone. The tools are here, the network is open for business, so really the only question left is, what would you build to create a more open and fair financial world? Thanks for watching.